But when I do a good lip butter with a lip oil on top of it, oh God, that's a vibe. I'm turning you up. So, Rebecca,
Hi.
we're gonna have some fun today
Okay. I'm here for it.
because we're gonna do a mixture of things and we're gonna switch up how we've been doing things a little bit just to see what happens.
Okay. Sounds
Okay,
good.
so welcome in user with a beard, welcome in B Teffy with a cheese. Ooh. So we're gonna actually start today with good vibes and we're gonna get an affirmation going.
Okay.
Okay? We're gonna
Okay.
get an affirmation going. And these affirmations were actually sent to me by Rebecca.
Ooh.
Okay, and I'm gonna shuffle them up. And these, you know what? If you're out there, this means you got to come in because this is for you today. This is your affirmation for today. This is our affirmation for today. This is what we need. Okay.
I'm excited. It better
Okay.
be
So
good.
let's do this. Actually, I'm being told because if you don't know, I'm a psychic. Let's go ahead and pull one for me and pull one for Rebecca.
Oh Lord.
Okay. So Rebecca, you go first. Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Okay. I'm thinking. I'm
Okay.
feeling. I'm feeling.
Okay.
Okay, stop.
Okay. And then what card should I pull? Tell me
The
when to
second
stop.
one. Stop.
Okay. The second one.
What
Oh, okay. Look at that.
does it say? I no. What,
It
I
says,
can't read it.
fuck what others think, do what makes you happy. That one's Rebecca's.
That's for me.
That one's Rebecca. So listen, if you're like Rebecca and if you feel Rebecca's energy and you're like, I'm a Rebecca. I'm a Rebecca. Rebecca is a Cancer sun with a Pisces moon. Okay. Are you a
I cry a
Rebecca?
lot. I cry a lot.
Right,
It's
right. And you don't, and
basically it's basically a pastime at this point.
right. I mean, you could just align with Rebecca. It doesn't even have to match that way. Now, see, I'm a Sag sun, um, Cancer moon, and a Taurus rising. I want you to send help. I want you to send help. Okay, I see my card. I immediately spotted it.
Mhm.
Uh, When you read the Rebecca,
What does it say? Dear.
it says, Dear stress, fuck you. Okay, so if you align with that, that's what we're doing today. Okay, that's
That
what
is
we're
you
doing today.
today. Yes.
That is okay because I have not been feeling well, and it's just been a very fun, stressful situation. Okay, moving on.
Oh gosh. Honey, I have okay, Disco, my cat, just decided to
Oh, no, that's okay. Disco, that means Disco wants to be on here.
hey, Disco. I'm
Hi,
busy, honey.
Disco.
I love
That's
you, honey.
okay. Oh my
Okay.
God, I love him. Hey,
Honey.
Disco, fuck stress.
That's exactly what he's saying. Like, Mom, you're stressing me out.
Yeah, hey, Disco, fuck
Yes.
stress. All right, so we pull our affirmations. Rebecca's is fuck what others think, do what makes you happy, and she really needs to do that. Mine is dear stress, fuck you. And so that's where we are today.
I
Okay,
really like
so
those cards. I really like
I
them.
do too. I love these cards and I'm so glad you got them for me. They're exactly up my alley and almost every one of them has the word fuck in them and that means that they're meant for me.
I honestly,
Okay?
when I sent those to you, I did not know that they were the way they were. Like, I just thought they were just like cool, badass, like affirmations. I did not know that there was constant cursing in it. But hey, listen,
Well, no, you got the vibe they were for me.
yeah, if it works, it works.
Because constant cursing is I don't know. Okay, so like as a psychic, as a spiritualist, as an activist and a political asshole, I like I have to cuss.
Hmm.
Cussing releases some kind of stress. I don't even know. I haven't even looked. I'm sure there's research for that, right? I've heard research in opposite directions. So this is something we'll have to look up in depth. But
Hmm.
I've heard one way to where people who cuss like aren't as intelligent, but then I've heard that people cuss are more intelligent.
I've heard
So
that.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I've heard both. So
Yeah.
maybe that's something we need to look up and like, because I have no clue, but I cuss. So whatever, if it makes me an idiot, here I am. If I'm a genius, then I always knew it.
I mean, yeah. I'm gonna err on the second one that you're
Okay.
intelligent if you curse. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like that. I think
Yeah.
that's the good way.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna talk about. So, we're gonna start today with our astrology stuff.
Okay. Nice. I like it.
And I want everybody to know we are ending two retrogrades. So, Mercury retrograde, it started on April 14th.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And it is going to last until the end of time. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It feels
So,
like it is.
right.
It
So,
feels like it.
Mercury, listen to me. Listen, we've both, okay. So, let me state the date real quick. It begins March 14th, ends April 7th. I'm not messing around. I'm not doing anything until April 8th, April 9th
Hmm.
of commitment. So during Mercury retrograde, let's cut that down real quick for people that don't know. During Mercury retrograde, you shouldn't be changing big things up. You shouldn't be moving. You shouldn't be changing jobs. You shouldn't be breaking up with anybody. You shouldn't be starting big relationships. I don't even start new artwork while this is going on during Mercury retrograde.
Wow.
I don't do, I don't start anything that I'm going to fully put myself into now. It is a good time to start things again. So things that you felt like you couldn't get the groove with the first time, things you felt like just couldn't work out, uh, jobs that you've applied for before but weren't successful at getting the first time. Mercury retrograde is a second chance type of place.
That's really, I didn't know that. That's very interesting.
Okay, yeah. So Rebecca and I have been trying to get this live going. It hasn't even been live. We started out with a podcast in 2021, and
Yeah.
Rebecca's life and my life have always been just wild.
Hmm.
So this is the first time we've been like, cool, we're going to start going live 3 or 4 times a week, and we're going to start, going over astrology, going over politics. We're going to start and going over things that matter to women and feminine entities and they, thems, anyone that feels comfortable with us, you're welcome here.
Hmm. Okay.
Like that's what's important.
Just go.
Um, Now, am I going to say wild stuff? Am I going to say crazy stuff? Am I going to say
Absolutely.
things about men?
Absolutely.
Yes. And from previous episodes, we're switching it up and we're adding we're going to add some new stuff and do some new things because we're in the beginning. And this is fun and this is a new place and we're Mercury retrograde doing new things
Hmm.
because this hasn't worked the previous times.
Yeah.
So we can do that. And that's exciting. That's a good place to be. Now, something else with Mercury retrograde, communication can get altered. So
Hmm.
let's say you have a very best friend and you guys normally get along great, but during Mercury retrograde, you guys constantly get into it. You guys argue all the time, blah, 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 blah. Try to just ignore each other during that time. Try to not make big plans with each other. Try to stay away from each other. Or something could be going on in one's life. It's about communication. You got to be very clear and you got to give each other a lot more leeway in that communication.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean let somebody walk all over you, treat you like crap, and blah, 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 blah. No, we're setting boundaries. We're
Hmm.
setting the boundaries. But
That looks
I had to get
amazing.
me.
What is that? That looks so good.
Oh my God, I wish. Hi, Duncan. Hi, you want to pay me? I don't believe in capitalism, but I believe in your money.
Wow.
It's a medium raspberry watermelon refresher lemonade. When I order it, I can only get lemonade. But when we go through the drive-through, I get lemonade and green tea.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, it moved my little thingy.
First of all, that's amazing. I know you can move it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um,
Okay. Okay, so hopping back in here.
yeah.
So, communication, relationships, just be very lenient of all that. Right now, we are also in a Venus retrograde.
And what does that mean? Because for a lot of people, they're just like, they understand. I'm just dealing with a lot of people who, you know, understand that there's a retrograde, but they don't know the difference between the different, like, where they're sitting and, within astrology. So could you talk about, like, versus, like, being in, I don't know, Pluto versus Venus, like, what the difference is?
So every single planet, when it goes retrograde, is
Mm-hmm.
going to be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's retrograde of what that planet is. Okay, so Mercury is the planet of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that deals a lot with like you may see your computer breaking, you may see you have an issue with your cell phone, blah blah blah. Venus, was that disco?
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
I don't know what is
Midna's in
going
the
on.
window.
Um, anyways, continue. Sorry.
No, it's funny because Midna's in the window looking at the birds, acting a fool. She's right over there.
I don't know why
But
the cats are doing this to us right now, but
it's the last couple days of Mercury retrograde, and they're deciding, you know what? Let's just have fun. Let's just have
yes,
some fun.
that's literally it. Yes.
Um. Okay, so Venus retrograde. Venus is the planet of love.
Oh.
So I know a lot of people have, and that started April 1st. I mean, I'm sorry, wow, March 1st, and it's going through April 12th, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And with it being the planet of love, it's also the planet of beauty.
Okay.
It's the planet of relationships. It's the planet of pleasure.
Okay.
So a good way to like learn the planets is to learn the god and goddesses associated with them as well.
Oh, okay.
So like Mars is in different mythologies the god of war.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
believe that one is Greek. I can't remember in no, I mean Roman is Mars. Greek is I can't remember because I'm not going to pretend like I know names of everybody because I garden too much
Are
to
you
remember
gardening
a
right now?
full-time thing. Of course. How dare you? How dare you
Just a
assume I'm
question.
not
Just a
gardening?
question. I was just
Okay.
wondering.
So let's go through and I am going through and reading some snippets.
Mm-hmm.
That way we have like I'm not pulling it out of my ass. I don't like to pull things out of my ass.
I don't think
I hate
anybody
that.
does, except for Donald.
Well, you welcome in, Rachel. Okay. Well, then I like that. In astrology and mythology, Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and pleasure, named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Astrological significance Venus is associated with feminine energy, relationships, art, creativity, and luxury. So, behind the moon, and like the moon is the feminine,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so is Venus. If the moon didn't exist, Venus would be the number one feminine.
Oh, I
Okay,
didn't know
but
that.
it's weird. And the way humans think of things is very competitive and very like that's what um, you know, uh wow. I was thinking about what is the word I'm looking for, Rebecca?
I
I bet you everybody's if you scream it at the screen at me, guys.
um.
Evolution. Thank you. Somebody screamed it right at the screen, gave it right to me. I know they did.
Oh.
So, evolution
Uh-huh.
makes us competitive.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense, but that's not from a spiritual, from a psychic perspective. That's not being competitive isn't a thing,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, moving on from that, I want to give like facts, not just psychic stuff. That's not always what people want. Uh, um, the planet is named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty, who was known as Aphrodite to the ancient Greeks.
Oh.
Venus and Aphrodite, they're the same.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay. This is interesting. I'm learning so much today.
So Venus is the second planet from the sun and is the hottest planet in our solar system. And Rebecca, so like going to like real quick thing, and because I want to touch it, and I want to touch it after we're done with this, but the sun being conscious, there's an article about that.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay, so don't me forget. So here's the deal with Venus being in retrograde. Okay, so we just talked about what everything is. So while Venus is in retrograde, you should not get any plastic surgery. I don't think you should anyway, unless something's wrong. But that is me as a feminist. Every woman, every person should do what they want as long as it's safe and not hurt nobody else.
Yep.
But definitely during Venus retrograde, do not get plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Because that is a time of, like I just said, how you look, how you feel, pleasure, sexuality. Don't, really work on your relationship. Don't get into a significant relationship during that time. Work on the one you already have, or work on love for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When in doubt, love yourself.
Always.
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 When in doubt, love yourself. There is never a retrograde that's not okay for you to go to therapy. That's not okay for you to figure out new ways for yourself to be healthy mentally, spiritually, and physically. Remember, if you aren't mentally healthy, you cannot be physically healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
It comes mind first, and then your body follows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay. The sun being conscious.
Mm-hmm.
There's an article and Rebecca and I saw this about the sun being conscious and just the way that it reacts to certain things out in space, stuff like that. What I love about this, what I am absolutely obsessed with, is the fact that humans, little piddly ant humans, were like, oh, we just found out the sun's conscious, maybe. And I'm like, the sun is billions of years old. It does not care about you. The sun is us walking on the sidewalk beside ants.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Like, how is that? Like, to me, we are made of the same things that stars are made of. What is consciousness? How does that work? And we don't have the science to truly realize what is truly conscious, because they are just now figuring out. They're like, oh, did you guys know crabs feel pain? So when you're boiling them inside water, they have felt that the entire time.
I have so much trauma with crabs being boiled alive. Like, my parents would do that when I was young, and I had to run out of the room because I felt like I could hear them screaming. Like, I just is one of those things I cannot. I can't. I don't understand.
Yeah.
No. Couldn't be me.
I'm a vegetarian, so like I'm very careful. Like I'm a pescatarian twice a month. But I have this theory to where if you wouldn't off it on your own, looking it in the face, you shouldn't eat it. And I could off a fish.
Really?
I could, because I know that I know there's times where like I need the protein, and like I'm like, is it me or the fish? And I'm like, well, I guess I gotta eat that fish.
Oh, man, I can't even off a fish, man. I have a big fish. His name is Tank, and I couldn't.
You couldn't. I get it. But I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
That's my spiritual belief. Mm-hmm. But you know what I would never do with my spiritual belief?
What?
Make other people do it.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Who would you be referring to?
Almost every single religion, but mostly Christian nationalism.
The Christians, yeah. That's
when they're like, listen here. Now, as men, we can go around and do whatever we want. We'll impregnate every single person on this planet if we must.
I,
But you women may not get abortions. I want you to hold on to them there babies.
and it's interesting because like Christian nationalists are very niche in the type of people that are Christian nationalists, the way they speak, the culture of that is very interesting because like there are Christians that are from all over the world, right? But the nationalists have their own little syndicate of the type of people that are them, which I find very interesting because you don't see a lot of people of color that are Christian nationalists. You really don't.
You really don't. You really don't. Now, hold on now. Ben Carson.
Okay, well, listen. As a person of color, I do not claim him. Okay? Just like Kanye West, I do not claim him. No.
You don't claim Kanye?
No, I freaking love his music, but dude,
Something wild.
he is something else, dude. Like
That Rebecca, that interview where he was wearing the pointy hat of when you spell America with three K's,
Mhm.
and I shut down. Did you watch it?
I watched half of it because I couldn't. It was making me viscerally sick.
Okay.
What I will say about Kanye West is, I think that he is an extremely talented artist. I think that he is very like he's probably one of the best artists of our century when it comes to rap music. However, I also believe that he is deeply disturbed. He went on an interview a couple years ago, more than a couple years ago, and said that slavery was a choice by Black people. And I was like, ooh, dude, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like it. But
I remember that, and I remember thinking this man is mentally ill.
yeah. And I feel so bad for him because I think also after his mother passed, because she passed after getting a BBL. She died from getting a BBL. And that really like just set him off. He was very connected with his mother. But the thing is that I think that she kept him on the straight and narrow, probably had him, watched and stuff and taken care of. And once she passed away, like that person was gone. And so he just kind of just lost it. And I feel so bad because, dude, when I say I love Kanye West music, there is a primal, visceral, like feeling when I listen to his music. And it's sad because like he could do so much for the world with his art. And he breaks down a lot of communities, including his own.
I feel like he needs to, and I mean this in the like he really needs help.
Yeah.
And no one's getting him help. Like he's saying ludicrous, like absolutely out there wild things, and people are responding to him. And like, and I'm not saying like the things he's doing are horrific. They are horrible. They are disgusting. They are like, I mean, they make us ill.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he is mentally ill, and somebody has to step in and say, "Hey, dude, let's back up a little bit. Let's get you some help."
Yeah.
But I believe because it's so outrageous and people are making money from him, they're not going to do it.
Yes. Same thing with Britney Spears.
Yeah, they did that to Britney Spears. But it's the opposite with her. They went ahead and put her away and then made her perform. With him, they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we're going to let him run wild."
Yeah.
And it's in both ways. It's like these people are mentally ill and there's stuff going on, and it's sad. It's sad. It's the same. And then you're gonna be like Samantha, and you're gonna tell me to hush, and I know it. But same thing with Donald Trump.
I mean,
people let him run wild. If he was a man on the street, we'd call the police.
I know. I think every situation we just talked about, Kanye, Britney, and Trump, everything has to go back to the fact that they all have money. If none of them had money, then they would be put someplace. Like if they were just average Joe Blow people just like you and me, they would be somebody would put them away, or they would be, taken into an insane asylum or something. Like it's, even though those don't
Yeah.
really exist anymore. But I think that it's not just making people money, but it's like when you see someone who is so powerful in regards to finances, like people don't really question it. And it's sad because our country, of course, is run by capitalism. So, we really just sit here just like, well, he's not really hurting anybody and he's got lots of money. He's got like $500 million. So it's okay. It's okay.
We have to call it psychiatric hospitals.
Yes. Yes. And I heard that there's a lot of them aren't existing much anymore because of so many different reasons. So,
Well, so a lot of budget cuts.
Mhm.
That's a big thing. And what people don't realize is so the self unaliving rate in 2025 has risen from 2024, and we're already so hold on. I looked this up the other day and I was like, in 2025, the United States witnessed a significant rise in unaliving rates, reaching levels not seen since 1941, according to the USN. The age-adjusted unaliving rate climbed to 14.7 unalives per 100,000 individuals, surpassing the 2022 rate of 14.2. This marks a concerning 30% increase over the past 2 decades.
Yeah, I mean, I heard he was even trying to get rid of the suicide hotline.
Oh,
the unaliving hotline. My bad.
Yeah, that was for educational purposes. I'm not going to restart.
Sorry.
I'm already being shadow banned, so like I'm like, what?
I'm sorry.
That's why today I'm like, let's try bunches of stuff out because I'm already being shadow banned. So like,
sorry.
Strawberry, welcome. Mary Paul, I see you popping in and out. Welcome. We love to have you guys in here. If you're out there, come on in. Tap the screen. Join us. Ask questions. Tell Rebecca she looks pretty because she does. She's an angel sent from heaven. And once Venus retrograde is over, her life is going to get better. And that's all I'm going to say.
Just let's move on.
Okay. Okay, so let's go into our daily dose of ground news.
Okay, sound good.
Okay, so when I say ground news, we're going to talk some politics. We're going to, first thing, and not just politics, we're going to talk about things that need to be talked about that mainstream news is not talking about.
Of course.
Russell Brand, formally charged with multiple SA offenses.
This is what we're starting with? All right. Okay.
Yeah. And Russell Brand, if you guys don't know, he was married to Katy Perry. He is British. He looks like something that crawled out of a sewer and not something cute like a rat. Just something after you shave and you flush it, like the hair down the toilet instead of putting the garbage like you should, and it like clumps up with like sewer gunk. That's Russell Brand. Okay, so it says Russell Brand has been charged with 1 count of SA, indecent assault, and oral SA, along with 2 counts of another kind of SA.
So I don't know. Do you follow Russell Brand at all? Like, not obviously on social media, but do you know anything about him in the last like 5 to 10 years?
I know he got real weird. He became Republican. He went to the Republican National Convention. Mm-hmm. So like none of this surprises me because if you are seen at a Republican National Convention, they could tell me anything about you and I would believe it.
Yeah. I know that when Katy Perry and him were married, she ended up divorcing him, I think, for unspecified reasons. But then there were rumors that he was forceful in a lot of things that he implemented in their relationship.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't think that was, they were married so long ago. I just didn't think about it. And then what's interesting that you say this now of what he's now been charged with. I think in the last like 3 or 4 years, I didn't know that he was a Republican. That's new information to me. However, I remember seeing a lot of videos on TikTok and, the other social medias, about how he's like, be yourself. Don't believe in what people think about you. Like, you have to, self-love. And he was doing all these things. And my conspiracy is that I think that he knew what he did. And then he's like, I've got to clean up my image real quick unless something comes out. That's what I really do believe, because I was just like, oh, look at Russell Brand. He's really coming along. He used to be not the greatest person in the world. And then all of a sudden he's changed into like self-love and do what makes you happy and, all these different things. But then now that I find out that he was has become a Republican nationalist, I'm just like, well, I get it. Just playing the game.
Yeah.
Playing the game.
Yes. Like, he's very strange.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm starting to realize, so like Russell Brand,
Xavier's here. Hi, Xavier.
Oh, hey, Xavier. Welcome, Xavier. Welcome. Welcome, Jessica. Welcome, Lonely Jen. Xavier. Welcome.
Love you, Xavier.
Welcome.
That's a Korean heart, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Remember, Rebecca is half South Korean.
Yes.
And that makes her magical.
What?
Yep.
Well, I don't think that's true, but yes, I am half South Korean.
Yes. Yes. No, here's why. If people can be that happy, that close to North Korea, they're magical. Because, North Korea is a sad place. That's got to be a sad place.
Wow.
So,
oh my God.
I feel bad for everybody. I don't know why everybody just can't live. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to live. I want everybody to be able to garden.
Everyone doesn't need to garden.
Everyone needs to garden.
No, listen, you garden if it's good for you and something you want to do, but everybody doesn't need to garden.
All right. Rebecca, let's move on to the news. Okay, Trump vows his policy will never change after China retaliates with tariffs.
What?
Yeah, so President Trump stated his policies will never change following China's announcement of a 34% tariff on U.S. goods starting April 10th.
Let me ask you something.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In your house, if you could ballpark in your house, all the stuff that you have, what percentage of the stuff that you have do you think comes from China? Everything from your couch to the stuffed animals in your house to the freaking
I probably think every single thing I own has something on it that was made in China for it to exist.
So that tells me that if these tariffs stick, for the next, let's say, I don't even know, say 10 years, by the time your niece, who is 8, will be getting all this stuff, if she goes to college, if she's, moving out of her parents' house, if she's starting her life, it will probably be over 1,000% more in price if it sticks this long. I don't know if it will, but Trump is doing damage that it just amazes me that he's still allowed to just keep going.
I got 2 more things to read you that I think.
Great. Can't wait.
That I think are really gonna. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 1,400 points shortly after the tariffs were announced, indicating investor concern.
1,400 points?
Trump claimed these tariffs would empower negotiations and predicted a boom economy, stating, "We have 6 or 7 trillion coming into our country."
That's like saying, okay, so let's just talk about that for a second. That's like saying, hey, I'm going to go out. My paycheck is coming in next week. I'm going to go out and buy a new car because I know that I'm getting paid next week for X amount of dollars and it'll cover the payment of the car. It's no big deal. And then all of a sudden you find out that there's an issue with your bank and the money didn't go into your account. You can't be spending money that you don't have yet.
I actually think it's more like this because I think, listen, hear my example. There's a man who's never had a job a day in his life. He's never applied for a job, and he keeps talking about getting a job. And he goes out and he goes out and he starts to try to buy a car. And he's mad because they're like, dude, you ain't never had a job. Nothing's ever happened. And then he's mad because nobody will give him a car. And Donald Trump is like, why is everyone mad that they're going to have to pay more? I don't understand. Like, why? Because I've never paid anything ever to anybody. But why are you mad?
I think that a lot of times we don't give Mr. Trump enough credit for how delulu this man is, because
Okay, it took me a minute.
He is so delulu. But when you are a white man, a YT man, who can go and talk people into giving you billions of dollars,
yes,
and talk somehow half of the country into saying you're a good person, even though you SA tons of people, including children, it's okay. That means that you are beyond delulu. He may be the best manifester we have ever met in this country's history. We don't know.
Just to me, like I don't know what to do. Like I just I don't have anything to say other than crazy things.
Yeah.
Other than things that just really just shouldn't be said out loud.
Okay.
So I don't think that I'm going to
Uh-huh.
say them out loud. What I do want to say is I'm going to mention, and I don't talk about, okay, so Elon Musk has stepped down. Have you heard? Yeah, I know. He has stepped down, and because he's losing money, his stocks are going down. People are looting Tesla dealerships.
That is so sad.
And yeah, it's now he's saying he stepped down. He's still around town. Like, who knows what's going on? But I think it's really important because a couple things I want to talk about with Elon. He got mad that Tim Waltz went on stage and was excited that the Tesla stock went down.
He was so
Elon,
upset.
He
so upset.
Google this interview. Elon Musk said like about getting his his feelings were hurt. He was drowning in his feelings and he needed a life jacket.
Yeah.
And it's like, sir, you're asking America, who is literally having other countries make commercials about feeding America. Okay? And you're asking Americans to care about a billionaire losing money.
Yep.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
You know what's interesting too is I have a friend who is conservative, and they were actually talking about how they think it's terrible that Americans would be happy that an American company was going down, that we don't support American companies. And I'm like, listen, okay, hold on.
I need a drink for this.
Mr. Musk is not an American. He is an immigrant, which is fine. America loves immigrants. We do.
We do. Send Elon home.
But when you have a company that has been started by a person that doesn't give a flip about American culture, American people, American capitalism, unless it's going into their pockets, then it's not real. I thought America's companies are supposed to be something that supports America. I don't know.
American companies don't care about Americans.
I know, but it's just like, that's the argument of the conservatives, especially with the Tim Walz thing, is like, they're like, how as someone who was running to be vice president, how can you support seeing an American company be burned down to the ground?
And I'm going to go ahead, Rebecca, and I'm going to go ahead and rebuttal that real quick. Let's say, because I have, my family's conservative. I don't have any, I am the rainbow leftist sheep of the purple leftist sheep of the family. I'm a Hummer. So when they say things to me that are that stupid,
Mhm.
okay, here's what I say. When was the last time a multi-billion-dollar company gave their employees a wage that matched what the company was making? When was the last time a multi-million-dollar company gave their company wages that matched what they were making?
Mhm.
And I'm not talking about mom and pops, don't do that because that's a whole different conversation. I'm talking about Tesla. I'm talking about Chase Bank.
Right.
I'm talking about these big boys, Macy's. I'm Macy's is one of the better ones, but I'm really like putting these companies out there. Walmart.
Mhm.
We know Sam's Club is Walmart and they're pulling the same stuff. When was the last time these companies did something for the American people? Just because you hire people and give them a mediocre wage with mediocre insurance, that's not enough anymore.
Yep. Especially with these tariffs coming in.
With the tariffs, the way these companies, guys, it's not the government that's setting the prices
Mhm.
of these goods, it's the companies. And the government is not setting any kind of precedent with these companies saying you can't do this to the American people.
Mhm.
You can't gouge the American people because after COVID, they were making record profit on us during COVID, and this is real. This is for educational purposes. These companies were making money off you,
Mhm.
and they still are. They're making record profit. Their CEOs making record profit.
Yeah.
Don't care about companies. They don't care about you. I'm sorry, Rebecca. Was that too much? Yeah, I'm like, you want to fight me? Let's go
I
outside.
I agree with everything you're saying. I think I'm not sure exactly what the answer is because this has been steeped in centuries of how this country was built.
Oh, I know. I know.
I mean, if we're going to be really crazy and honest, like the working man and how companies treat the working man stems all the way back to slavery. And they just
Yeah.
copied that blueprint
Yeah.
and applied it to paying people. And they're trying to do the least amount for the most as far as getting work out of people. So I
But
think a lot of, we have to sit here and really question, like, what can we do to change this other than be activists, be people who are standing up and saying, no, this isn't right. Like, it's not just like going home and being like, oh, the world's just screwed up and I'm just going to go home and go to bed. Like, I have those days too.
Yeah.
But you have to sit down and be like, okay, even if it's just a little thing in your life every day of being like, what can I do to stand up and say, this isn't right? Like, we've got to do something to do that. Just as Americans, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a big piece. And one of the big pieces, and I'm going to say that I think Americans can do is educate themselves.
Yeah.
And not just with Newsmax or MSNBC. Really, like when we read the news, I'm reading off something called ground news. They don't. I wish they paid me, please. Ground news. I'm here. Um, they are actually paid by the people. And so everything it shows like this is being more covered by the left. This is being more covered by the right. This is a center thing, like stuff like that. And it gives true facts. I love it. I also look at how American news is being construed outside of the US.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to see American bias,
Yeah.
is because Portugal doesn't give two craps, right? When we're talking about like I like looking at how Canada portrays us. That's a fun time, especially right now.
Listen, Canada, if you're out there listening right now,
Mhm.
I am so sorry. Please don't be
I
mad at us.
know.
We didn't it wasn't a choice,
Mhm.
okay? We are sorry. Please don't hate us. But also I get the anger. I understand how you feel. I really do.
Listen, as one of the L in the LGBTQPIA,
Mhm.
Canada, I might need to come there. So please let me in. I'm a good person. I don't like Donald Trump. I'm willing to wear offensive, hateful Trump attire at all time. Whatever you need me to do to let me into the country to get away when the time comes, because I have a feeling they're going to try to put people like me in something called a summer camp, but it's not for summer, it's forever. And
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
So there's that. Well, you know what though? I feel like, that was super positive. I don't like to end on not wasn't really positive.
Did
It
you
was
just
it
say
was
that's
not.
super positive?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I let's talk about something happy.
Okay, let's talk
We
about something
we
happy.
said we were gonna start talking about happy things. We're gonna end with something nice. And I have the perfect thing because I talk about her a lot because she is my parents' age.
Okay.
Ruby Bridges' new children's book is a love letter to her first grade teacher. She's like another mom to me. The civil rights trailblazer remains close to the teacher who became her best friend when she was 6-year-old first grader integrating in her all-white school in 1960.
Aww. We just
There are
can't,
people.
there are people that are still fighting the fight. And, I've questioned myself a lot. I'm like, am I ever doing enough? Am I doing enough as a person who is against racism and um, sexism and homophobia and all these different things that are just terrorizing our country? And I think, it goes back to the earlier comment that we were talking about of like doing a little bit, just like even educating yourself. That is one of the biggest things because like if we don't know, we don't know.
We don't know.
But I think it's awesome. That's so great.
I'm literally, whenever I think of Ruby Bridges, because she was this little 6-year-old girl, and I was a preschool teacher,
Mhm.
and I think of this little 6-year-old child who was innocent and loving and caring and pure, and these grown adults
Yeah.
being they were monsters. Like when you see a little kid afraid of monsters and you tell them you have nothing to be afraid of, Ruby Bridges really did have monsters.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to know, like, my parents are 60, 65. Like I have people, like my parents were Ruby Bridges' age when all this was going on. And so their parents were the ones. And I want everybody to know, as a YT person, I am very aware that it wasn't that long ago. And I am very aware that YT people are dangerous. And I'm very aware and I will call it out. And because I'm on live, that's all I'll say that I'll do.
Okay. I don't know if that's a positive note to leave on the live.
Did you?
Yeah. Is that the positive part with you giving it a thumbs
Rebecca's
up?
always concerned I'm going to go to jail.
Yeah, I'm so scared. Listen, hold on. Let me think of something positive to get out of this moment. Okay, the positive thing about this whole thing is that we have two people who are from divergently different situations in life that have come together to create a moment in time that is hopefully educating people, but also aligning people to understand that despite your differences, because I am a mixed race child of one immigrant, first generation immigrant, deconstructed Christian, straight cis woman. Yay for me. And we have a beautiful YT woman who's from the alphabet community that loves people, that loves animals, that has
Families from
grown up,
Appalachia. That's all I'm going to say about that.
that loves to love. And between the two of us, we are from two divergent places, but yet somehow we make it work because our alignment, I feel like, and I could be wrong, you can tell me if I'm wrong, our alignment is the one thing, which is just to be as abstract as possible, is the love of humanity, of like trying
Yes.
to make sure that, and it's not just the humans, of the world, of animals,
No,
of
it's Earth. It's Mother Earth.
yeah,
If I can save Mother Earth and all of the little children of the planet
yeah.
and all of the plants and the animals, and somehow I can't save all the adults, oh well.
Well, again, we were so close. We were so close to ending this on a
Mhm.
positive.
I felt like that was live.
That was,
That was like positive. Like I'm gonna do
you
that.
don't care if you don't save the humans.
You know, we have 1,387 days left of Trump's presidency. But on a positive note, I don't have a hemorrhoid. I guess that's good.
No, we're gonna have to talk about this off the live. This is not working. We don't need to be hearing about your hemorrhoids. We don't need to hear about what poop is in people's pants. We just need some positive vibes to end the live.
Okay, something positive.
Yes.
Something
Really
positive.
Really positive. Like not
Really
like the fact that you don't have a hemorrhoid, like a real positive thing. And we were so close. We were at the finish line. Our feet were touching the finish line, and then
We
you're just
were.
like, oh, hold on, let's step back.
Okay. Something real positive. Something
Yeah.
real positive.
Real positive.
Something real good and positive.
I'm not gonna help you.
Okay.
You can do
I'm gonna
this.
help you.
You can do
Not
this.
gonna help you.
You got it.
Oh, is it for everybody or just for me?
For everybody, because it's about other people. It's not about you. It is alive about for other people.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. No, don't make
Okay.
hand signals. Nope, don't do that. No.
Okay, I have something.
Okay.
I have something good. It is springtime, which means we're all going to see more flowers in this part of the world. I love spring. We're going to see new babies everywhere, new baby deer,
Okay.
like depending on where you are in the country, right? We're going to see just a whole bunch of new flowers, and everybody should really sink into Mother Earth and really just take time with her and go for walks and be grateful.
Do you know what you just did?
What?
You just tapped into your Cancer moon. That's what you did. You pushed
Yeah.
that Sag right over to the side. You were on that Cancer moon. I appreciate that. I do.
Mm-hmm. You like how I had nothing to do with humans at all.
Yes, I know. We're not going to talk about that, though.
Okay.
That's
All
not
right.
good.
All right. So we're going to peace out, Xavian. It's been a pleasure.
Bye, Xavian. We love
Bye,
seeing you.
Xavian. And I want everybody to know I hate Donald Trump. Everybody have a good weekend.
Oh, my God.